And Michael Cashman is with us now. Good to see you. Welcome.
Good to see you. Thanks for having me.
A lot of news this past week. Some new retail coming in to fill some space that's open, both at the mall and the former Kmart. The Kohl's department store, is that now a done deal for the mall?
We have found out officially that they have inked the deal. Kohl's is coming to the town of Plattsburgh. We're very, very excited about that.
And what's the timetable for that, for groundbreaking or opening?
Over the course of the next several months, they're going to have to change the footprint of the mall. So it's going to be still quite a while before they're actually here in town. But the mall is making the investments to recruit them here, build out the space, and we've been working, in concert with them to make sure that we can get them here.
And the old Kmart store, a company called Running Supply is moving in there. They're a national company based in Minnesota, and they'll be filling that space. Any timetable for them getting in there?
They are going to be. And the town of Plattsburgh really has something that a lot of businesses are looking for, and it's the location. Right off of 87, exit 37, that whole strip is busier than Wolf Road down in Albany, which is quite remarkable. They call it the $1 million mile up here in the North Country because everybody wants to be there. People are willing to make the investments.
When you spoke at the Chamber Breakfast a few weeks ago, you highlighted that. You said this is something we've been working on for decades, preparing for this time where we have these opportunities now.
Yeah. So we put the sweat equity into it, meaning that we do the plans, but we don't just do a plan and have it sit on a shelf and collect dust like a lot of municipalities. What we're doing is we take a plan and we use that study to become the feeder for grants in the future, or like tongue and groove to the next plan. So it constantly is moving the process forward.
Infrastructure, you're going through a phase right now of spending millions to improve the infrastructure, your water supply systems, your wastewater treatment systems.
Yeah. So it's approximately $24 million. We're doing 20 plus projects. People have probably seen the beautiful water tank that I'm really proud of. It's part of our gateway. It was a win-win for us that we needed to repaint that water tower and kind of refurb it a little bit, but we also wanted a message there to be welcoming to the greater Plattsburgh region and also welcome our Canadian visitors. But we've secured $500,000 in federal grants, which brings that cost down. We received $3.1 million from New York State, and we will continue to go through the process to go after other funding to bring the overall cost down. But it's about three things. It's about health and safety, it's about sustainability, and it's about economic development. And the town of Plattsburgh really is leading the way on infrastructure in the North Country.
Do you wish there was more infrastructure money in the budget? Do you wish that the state was doing more for infrastructure?
The state and the feds. We need both the state of New York and the federal government now to step up. That's one of the troubling things that we face with the old Air Force Base, to be quite frank, is we have really old infrastructure. Got a lot of land, got a lot of opportunity to develop, but the infrastructure underneath is poor.
Just within the past week, there's been the story about how some of the chemicals in the foam that was used for firefighting there has contaminated 4 wells on Kemp Lane, which is just off the base. They get their water from wells, so certainly the town isn't responsible. The Air Force is going to be footing the bill, is footing the bill now for them to get filtered water and bottled water. Will the town at some point perhaps step up, though, to see if they might be able to offer them water from the town's water supply?
We've already offered that we would partner with the Air Force to make that connection. The federal government has to step up and spend the money to do that connection, but we could certainly supply water to them. They've
been testing wells of homes all around the former Air Force Base for 5 years now, down on the southern end, down along Route 9 and the lake, and so these are just a handful of the homes where they've actually found
and they're doing it all around the country too. I mean, I think that's what people should know is, any place that the federal government has had an Air Force base or any type of base, is they're really trying to see what type of chemical impacts that they've left behind as part of their legacy.
Norsk is doing well. The new factory for Norsk Estate is building that factory over at the site of the old Clinton County Airport. And as you mentioned at the Chamber Breakfast, you're really hopeful that that will expand beyond just Norsk and turn into a tech park.
Yep. So one of the things to know is the state of New York invested $125 million into Norsk Titanium, and they really have 2 buildings. They're using a building that the TDC owns right now, and then they're building this brand new beautiful building. But the town of Plattsburgh, going back to some of our studies and plans, we've been imagining what the old county airport would look like for years now. And in partnership with the county legislators, who are investing $500,000, and TDC with $250,000, and the Town of Plattsburgh is going to put up another $250,000, we're going after federal grants and other grants that are out there to continue to bring about the infrastructure out there. Because nowadays, to be shovel ready, you can't just have flat earth. You need to have the flat earth, but you also need to have the infrastructure so people can connect to your broadband, to your water infrastructure, you know, all of the amenities and services there. And we see that as a future opportunity to expand the 21st Century Tech Park out there.
Norsko, you're still hopeful that down the road they'll hire as many as 400 people? Is that still the goal?
I'm pretty confident. They continue to ratchet up their productivity. Their strong connection with Boeing. They already have pieces that are in the new Dreamliner series. I mean, that's a really significant thing to have something in the skies that is being made right here in Plattsburgh.
The town is moving forward with plans to develop the waterfront on the south side of the city, the former Air Force Base fuel jetty site, and creating what's being called the Battlefield Memorial Gateway. Tell us a little bit about what that is and where those plans are right now, how much progress you've made on that, and what you hope to create there.
It's part of what we're calling the Triangle of History. Right across from the parcel that the town owns is Crab Island. To the south of that is Valcourt Island, and then coming back. So American Revolution, Battle of Plattsburgh, to modern day, the old jetties are part of the old Plattsburgh Air Force Base. And we're going to create an opportunity that gets people out on the water, that's very focused on our veterans. We have secured some funds through Assemblyman Jones, and we'll be making a formal announcement over the course of the next several weeks. But this really is going to be a one-of-a-kind project, not only for the region, but for the nation.
The plan is to create a boardwalk out there that juts out into the lake, and to have boats to take visitors over to Crab Island. And then as part of that, perhaps a phase 2 would be a veterans park there that would have a Vietnam Veterans Wall, memorial wall?
Yes, and it will have some interpretation opportunities. It will connect with the bike trail in the city of Plattsburgh. It will connect to the Empire Trail. It's truly going to be something special.